Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with laugh, gags, and gossip. Now let's get into the mess. Hey Scandal Squad, welcome back to the channel, Celebrity Scandalous. You guys, I'm so excited. You know I don't go live, but this Jennifer Williams, Christian Gold mess has just got me this is exciting in terms of there are a lot of stories that come out that I just really don't care about. So it's like, whatever. But this one, oh my God. Hey Cocoa Puff, can you let me know in the comments if you can hear me, please? Because I don't know, I don't do this all the time. So it's gonna be struggle streaming. But oh my God. Let's get into this. So I don't know if you guys saw her, Jennifer Williams and her fiance on the Carlos King show earlier today. They did an interview. Can you just drop and let me know if you can hear me? Because I just don't want to screw this one up, you guys. But anyway, they did a interview on the Carlos. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you. They did an interview today on the Carlos King show. And when I tell you, I was flabbergasted. My mouth was just hung open. I cannot believe that this woman is still so simple. The woman, if y'all go back with Basketball Wives and you watch maybe 10 years ago, I believe we came out like in 2010. I've been watching from like day one. Remember when she said she didn't know what a food stamp was and she had never seen one? Okay, believable, whatever. But you're bragging about you so bougie, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't know what a food stamp is, but you're going to marry a felon, okay? Like, if you're going to try to be bougie, have some decorum about it. I mean, don't talk about you ain't never seen a food stamp because you're going to be seeing the inside of prison walls when you go get your conjugal visits. That arrogance. I mean, really trying to, like you better than somebody. And, I know people will be like, oh, you're just hating and all. No, I'm not. It's not coming from a place of hating. It's just like, ladies, are we that simple? I mean, this is like the fourth con artist that she's been with. She had that show where she like talked about being scammed and everything. And I cannot go through all. Listen, Coco. No, I feel so bad for Jennifer. She's literal. Oh, yeah. But no, we can't feel bad for her because this is volunteering to be stupid, willfully ignorant at this point. It's too many red flags. I don't know if you guys watch Girl, Is That Legal? When I first, was watching the show and they presented this man that she was, engaged to, my red flags immediately went up. There's almost a 20-year age gap between the two of them. Ma'am, you have money. You are a walking target for any con artist. I mean, give me a break. I don't got the money Jennifer got, but I'm a homeowner. Hell, I got, stock in my company and all of those things. I'd be damned if I let some little 20, 30-year-old man come up and jip me out of everything that I have. If you want to have some fun, do that. But to get married and to commingle your life, especially after all the men that have done you in, it's just ridiculous. I can't even feel sorry for her. I can't even. I'm reading the comments. I know. I wonder what's wrong with her. But exactly. I mean, because she comes across like she's so bougie, she's so classy, but first of all, let's just say this. The fact she comes across, she likes designer items. That does not make you have class. I mean, you can be a drug dealer and do some horrific things and have money. Does not give you class. That's a totally different thing. And based on the decision-making skills, you're not very bright. So just because you can go up in go to the Gucci store and maybe buy a few bags or go to get some Birkins or something does not mean that you're socially better than anybody, which I never think anybody is better than anybody anyway. But it's almost like, well, I have designer this and I have, I can wear these clothes and I'm better. She has her nose so far up in the air. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching Girls That Legal, because Girl Is That Legal, she gave you the facts of the case against this Christian Gold, her fiance. When I was talking about the red flags, I was solely going on my instinct and motherhood and all of that stuff. You know that old folks, when you just aunties, we just know a scam when we see it. But girl, is that legal? Is the one who actually pulled his card and showed us the documents of how much he actually owes for restitution, which is probably around 12,000. If you saw the video, remember he said he owed something like 250,000. And when that scene aired, he was like, I wasn't asking her for the money. Well, no, you weren't asking her, but you were massaging her to kind of let her know that you needed some money. And any woman that's desperate to get married with an impending wedding coming up, they're going to say, oh, baby, well, what do we need to do? So let's talk about that part. Here's a man who had a website. Now the website is down now. It was called, you guys, I'm talking off the top of my head, Federal Funding Reserve or something like that. And that site was up a couple weeks ago. Girl Is That Legal talked about it. I've done other videos on it. That video is, that website is down now. Okay. That website is down. Once Girl Is That Legal start talking about the scamation of it all and showing, documents and everything, all of a sudden the website is gone. There was also a woman who came on her channel and said that she had been scammed by him. So everything has been taken down. Now, in my opinion, the first thing I noticed is that when I went to the website to see what he does, because he talks about handling these large portfolios, millions of dollars, what person who is handling millions of dollars, come on, y'all, come with me, has a website that's hosted by GoDaddy? That's the first red flag. If you know, I don't know much about stocks. I get my stocks through my job. We purchase through the job or we're granted stocks, right? So I don't know anything. I'm not good at investing. I just do what I need to do, So if you are looking for somebody to do investments or, the bigger companies like E-Trade and Charles Schwab and those kind of companies, they have their own DNS server. So that kind of stood out to me. If you are dealing with this volume of money and probably international trading and everything that you would do, who would be hosted on GoDaddy? That was the first red flag for me. So I didn't even have to know all the legal stuff, the legal ramifications that he was facing. But just looking at those kind of elementary things, I was like, yeah, this sounds like a scam. And then he's talking about, oh, I owe $250,000 in restitution. However, you're handling millions of dollars for wealthy people. That's a red flag there. What millionaires would give you that kind of money to handle, knowing that you're a felon, number one, and you still owe restitution? None of it makes sense, right? So let's talk about this interview he did on Carlos Kings today. So, with YouTube, I don't want to get no copyright strikes. So I'm just going to jump to, y'all have to bear with me as I get to this because I'm a little slow on, I'm a little slow. I want to listen to some of the first things he talks about when he talks about the lies were just there. Let me go. Just give me 1 second, you guys. I'm going to go here. And what's the first thing that he said that I was, he talks about being in corporate America, like his first corporate job and making all this money. So let's listen to this. Let's listen. Let's see.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Jennifer Williams, if I ever see her come across my Explore page or anything like that, it's just like, this is just a powerful Black woman that has class. And to still the question you asked her, when I saw Jen, I just saw Armani's friend. You know what I mean? I didn't say, oh, that's going to be my wife or I want to fuck her.
Oh, okay. So that was one of the first things. When they talk about this mutual friend, Armani, I'm wondering if Armani is a male. Well, I know it's a male, but I wonder if he's a gay male because, again, this guy is in Atlanta and Jennifer was saying it's a mutual friend of theirs. And the reason I'm saying that is because, to be honest, I kind of got some little, I don't know. I kind of felt like he might be part of the community. I did, even though I know he has kids. And when I was looking at some of the comments on various videos, the gay man was saying he's one of the girls. I mean, I don't I don't know, but that's kind of what I was getting from him. If you're following, if you look at their YouTube channel, which I do watch, he kind of gives feminine vibes. I don't know what it is, but I kind of felt that. But anyway, I was wondering who is this Armani character that is their mutual friend, because I saw a comment in somebody's chat, and one person said Carlos King probably knows the truth. He knows that this guy is running game on Jen, and he also knows that the guy is part of the community and he's making a fool of Jen. Now, if you guys watched the interview today, there was one comment that I thought was just way Carlos threw major shade, and I thought it was terrible. He says, Jen, I've met a lot of the guys that you date. This is the one guy who's better looking than you. I mean, I'm like, who would say something like that? If that ain't shade, that is terrible. This is supposed to be your friend, and you're saying that this man is better looking than her. She's older than him. Like, that right there lets you know something is wrong. I couldn't even believe when he said that. I think Jen kind of, you could tell that she was a little taken aback, like, what did you just say? But he said that. He said this guy might be better looking than you. So as a woman, to hear that a man is more attractive than you, this man is younger than you, girl, that should raise red flags. That means people are saying, what in the hell is he doing with you? Oh, yeah, we get it. Your money. Your money. Like, Carlos is giving you all of the deets without just putting it in your face. Okay, but let's go back to some of the stuff he was talking about.
You know what I mean? I didn't have that in my head, especially at that time of what I was going through. So after that,
were you in a relationship at the time you saw Jen?
I had literally just gotten out of one with my children's mother.
The same.
Okay, so that's another lie right there, because I read on something else that he actually was in a relationship, and I can't remember where I saw it, but that he had been dating somebody and he dumped the girl when he met Jen. Like, he said that he had been out of the relationship. I believe he said that he broke up in September and then met Jen in December. And ladies, come on now. We all know usually there's some overlap. You weren't totally free from that baby mama or, your children's mom before you met Jen or whatever you were doing. I believe that, you probably met Jen, was still dealing with the girl, but once you saw this golden ticket, it was like dumping. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I mean, jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts, but that's what I think.
Same day or that?
No, before.
Okay.
Before. So we met in December. I was out of my relationship the end of September.
Okay.
So, it was complicated, and it was just not enough time. But it was like this gravitational pull, man. It was this gravitational pull with that conversation, and then next thing you know, we exchanged number. Well, we didn't exchange numbers, but I always say when she left.
Okay, so he's kind of at that point. He's kind of going on talking about how they met, and so they spend hours together. And honestly, if it weren't for the fact that we know that he's a felon, that there may be some scamming going on, and all of this other stuff, it sounds very romantic. It sounds like a perfect, romance to meet somebody and to really kind of start liking them. And the thing about Jen with this man, I could see you dating him. I could see that he's a scam artist. Just don't get yourself caught up into his scams, allegedly, if they are scams, because many of us think that they are. And I could see you dating him, but why would you have to get married? It's not like she's never been married before. Sounds like she's almost 50, so I don't know if she's planning on having children. He has about 2 or 3 kids already. So what is the necessity to get married, though? And I do understand people want to be married, but you're with all the things that he has going on, he doesn't seem like the best candidate, in my opinion. If you want to have this Parisian destination wedding, I'ma drag my felon out the country, and I ain't never seen a food stamp. How ghetto are you? I mean, it just sounds ridiculous, right? So let's go on to the other lie that just jumped out at me when he talks about making six figures in corporate America. Let's see, hold on. Basically, he was saying that he had a full scholarship to college and he tore his ACL in his senior year. So let me see. I'm trying to find that. I want to listen to what he says about that, because that doesn't make sense to me. I'm looking, you guys, give me 1 second. I'm looking at the transcript and I have my numbers marked, but let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna just start from here where he talks about his mother.
Give credit to my mother, and that's the reason why my mother, and she loves Jennifer. That woman taught me how to treat and respect a woman, because I watched my mother be verbally abused. Verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your mom taught you how to treat and respect a woman. That's why you ended up in prison for entrapment or holding a woman hostage and wouldn't let her out. Okay.
So yeah, that correlated to as I became a man, and I've been through some toxic relationships. You know what I mean? And being young, being dumb, being stupid, what I think is love really wasn't love at that time. But God takes us through, certain paths and situations to land us with that special someone, whoever it may be, right? So yeah. Went to school at SCAD, got a degree in fashion. So like I said, I've spent all my life in Atlanta. Got a degree in fashion. This is after 2 full ride scholarships to play ball, tore my ACL, PCL.
What type of
basketball?
Basketball, okay.
Okay, so he's saying that he got a full scholarship to play basketball and he tore his ACL in his senior year. Well, if he had a full scholarship, now from what I understand, and you guys could correct me because people will know, have different experiences, but I've known some D1 players to be injured like in their senior year, and they were still able to complete their scholarship. They go on an injured list and retire, but were able to complete, their final year. So that's questionable to me. So you had a full ride, you got injured in your senior year, and are you telling us that you had to drop out because they wouldn't honor the remainder of your senior year, your semester or whatever? That's interesting. So, and he's saying he got a fashion degree in SCAD. So I looked that up, and that's Savannah College of Art and Design. So I don't know how long he attended that. So now what he's letting us know is that he's obtained 2 scholarships. Okay, which is amazing because I have my daughter graduated computer science, and very smart girl, but we didn't get full scholarships. So if he got 2 full scholarships to 2 universities or colleges, that's pretty good. So let's keep going.
Senior year, tore my ACL, PCL, and meniscus, and of course that's out the door. Backup plan. I've always loved fashion. I just love the feel of it. You know what I mean? Got a full ride to SCAD, and pursued that. At the same time, I'm working full time in corporate America. So of course, my load was super crazy. And at that time, I was with I had a girlfriend at the time, and this is from high school. High school carried into college.
Your high school sweetheart carried. Okay.
Yes, different schools, but high school sweetheart. And yeah, at first it was great, butterflies and all that stuff. And, things got bad because at that time, Carlos, I was arrogant. It's like I was making great money. I was in school. I went to school. I went to go get a real estate license, right? I'm just like leveling up. because I saw my mom not struggle, but I saw my mom do everything for me and my brother. She never said no. Like, she would grind. If she had to get a second job, work from home, aside from her corporate career, she would make sure we got to our AAU games. You know what I mean? She'll make sure she was just a dynamic mother. You know what I mean? And one thing I respect about my mother always told me and my brother, my older brother, we're 4 years apart. She said, the woman you marry, I want her to be better than me. And she's looked at Jennifer in her eyes and said, you have met that. You've met that. Right. So, going back to, the upbringing, of course, finished school, got a bachelor's, and then I decided to leave. I'm making $130,000-$140,000.
Okay, so right there, I just kind of skipped ahead a little bit because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the transcript, and this is the point I want to make. So he talks about making it to his senior year in college before he tore his ACL. So I'm going to say 18, 19, 20, 21. So your senior year, probably you would be 21 or 22 years old in college. So he got injured. It sounds like he didn't finish the first college. He went and got a degree from SCAD in fashion. But listen to so if you made it to your fourth year in college, like I said, you're probably about 21, 22. This says, okay, listen to this, you guys. He says,
year at 19 years old, like, you can't tell me nothing, right? I think I'm out popping bottle. And I'm accountable for my arrogance, right? We had an argument based off the arrogance, right?
You're arrogant.
My arrogance.
And when you say you were arrogant, in what way?
I wasn't like, effing people over or anything like that. It was just like, oh, my parents can't tell me anything. You can't tell me anything. Referring to my ex-girlfriend. No one. I'm making $130,000-$140,000 a year at 19 years old. Like, you can't tell.
Okay, red effing flag. How you at 19? So that's probably your second year in college as a sophomore. You're making $140,000. You tear your ACL in your senior year, you have to drop out, I'm assuming, because why? Okay, so if you're making $140,000 a year because you're working in corporate America, why couldn't you finish your senior year out at the first college? Let me tell you. Now, is it possible for an 18, 19-year-old to make that kind of money in corporate America? Absolutely. I mean, well, let's say this. Is it possible for an 18, 19-year-old to make that kind of money? Absolutely. But mind you, he said he was still in college. He's 19. He also says he was working in corporate America. Now, girl, is that legal? Exposed the fact that he was working for, I believe the shoe store was Aldo, because the girlfriend that he violated, she was working there as well. He got her the job there. So it sounds like he was working, if you want to call that a corporate job. Generally, that's not considered a corporate job. It's a mall job, but you're not making $140,000 working at no shoe store. I'm sorry. Even as the district manager, I don't believe they're making that kind of money. So, I mean, these are just lies. And see, the problem with people like him, the word narcissist is so overused. It is so overused. But these kind of people think that they're so smart, they can outsmart anybody. But one thing about it, the more you talk, the more you put yourself in jeopardy, because everything you say can and will be used against you. So this probably was not the smartest thing for him to do. You know what I mean? It's like, sir, you probably should have not done this interview, because now what you've done is you've given them more rope to hang you with. These are just lies. 18, 19, you making $140,000. For those of you who follow the manosphere, Kevin Samuels already told you less than 10% of people make that kind of money. And even men and black men, even less. Like, who does this kid think he's talking to? Grown women would question that. What? At 18, 19, you, sir, what? Any woman in her 50s, late 40s, 50s, if you have children, you already know they earning capacity. You already knowing what it's like to get a kid through college. For this man to sit up in your face and to tell you a bald face lie like that, I just can't. I'm perplexed. Jen, really? You don't have no friends with no boys, kids his age? So he talks about the fact that when he met Jennifer, he was 29 and she was like 47, 46, 47. Ma'am, you're old enough to be this boy. No, you are definitely old enough to be this boy's mom. And there's nothing wrong with that. But not to be this old and be stupid. You know what I mean? Not to be this old and be stupid. This kid told you at 18, 19 years old, he was in corporate America making $140,000. Do you know how many years and what you got to do to be in corporate to make that? He didn't say he was a content creator. He wasn't saying all that other stuff. He was talking about corporate America, but we find out that the corporate job he had was selling shoes. Like, Jen, how much of what he's saying did you check? Did you fact check? Hell, I don't even believe the lies I tell myself. I mean, hell, have you ever stood in front of a mirror and say, girl, no. I mean, you lying to yourself, but then your other self says, girl, please. Like, are you not just thinking things through? Let's keep going on with some of the lies.
Tell me nothing, right? I'm out popping bottles in the club, living the dream as people see it, right? At this very young age. This is 2012, 2013. So we were living together. And, I made sure that, she was good at the time because she was younger than me, like a year and a half. At the time, I wanted her to discover and find what she wanted to do, whatever her passion was. So, of course, I got her first job and get me to that point of when I look back at it.
Okay, so we're jumping forward to him explaining the altercation that took place and why he ended up going to prison behind this young lady. So let's listen.
Right? I understood why she blew up. She had every reason to. Because no one wants to deal with a partner where you can't tell them anything. It's supposed to be a partnership. You know what I mean? And I know we weren't married or anything, but it's still a partnership. So
I'm going to let him continue. But what I'm seeing as an auntie, as a mature woman, what I'm seeing is a young man who's acting like, oh, I'm taking accountability. I'm healed. I get it. I understand. It's all a con. He's saying all the right things because he knows that's what she wants to hear. Anytime, men and women are different, and this is a young man. And he's just sitting as he's running game on this woman. I understand, that she wanted this for me and I was young. I mean, it ain't been that long ago. Do you know how long it takes us as women and men to mature to that level? Or a person who's talking like he's talking, you're saying these things because that's what she wants you to say. That's what she wants to hear. And this is how you're going to woo her and make her think that you're so evolved. This is BS. I'd be sitting there laughing to myself like, oh, this is good. Ooh, sir. But that's all it would be is a kiki. Because there's no way I would be hanging on his every damn word. Okay, let's continue.
Things blew up and, my charge was false imprisonment. And what that means is, well, I can speak for the state of Georgia. What that means is she's yelling. Of course, the neighbors are knocking on the door.
So you guys are having a heated argument.
It's a heated argument.
And as you were trying to go over the finances and figure out all that stuff,
this is when she blew up. And
yeah, because she felt like you were just being dismissive to her or just okay.
One thing I've grown to understand about women, they want you to sit and not just listen. They want you to understand. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing in hearing and then actually listening and understanding. And at that time, I'm immature, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh man, like whatever I say goes type of thing. You know what I mean? And when I look back at it, I'm like, she had every right to blow up on me because she felt as I was being dismissive. Like, and that turned into,
So right here, the con game is strong. He's like letting us know that, looking back, I take accountability, and she had every right. I do understand. I'm so evolved as a man. I get it now. Man, please, Janet, you eat. She's sitting there eating this up. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oof.
You know what? I'm gonna leave. Mind you, we were during the conversation. We're consuming, alcohol. So my tolerance is cool, but at the time her tolerance wasn't as, but we're drinking, and she wanted to leave. And I was like, no, it happens every day in every household, somewhere in the world, where you and your partner may get into a heated argument, right? And you're like, babe, let's just talk about it. So this is where my charge was created. I'm blocking the door from the front door to the back door, right? She's like, I'm leaving. I take her keys. I'm like, listen, if you want to leave, call your mom, call your friend, but you can't drive this car like this because you're clearly intoxicated. So,
okay, family, that's another lie. I just caught that one. If they are living in, and I don't know, maybe we haven't heard that part. I might have skipped over it, but he was saying they were living in like an apartment, like a garden level apartment or something. And so generally, if you're in an apartment building, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, you don't usually have a back door. So he's saying he's blocking her from the front door to the back door. Usually in an apartment, especially if it's in a building, probably not a back door. But I don't know. I'm in California. Generally, our apartments don't have back doors. Our back doors are going to be, maybe if you have like a townhouse, you might have a sliding balcony. Or if you live in a home, you have a front door, back door. But if you're on a third floor, generally speaking, there would be a back door. So that to me sounds sketchy. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts about that. And he's saying he's blocking her. Okay. He's not like, I think Girl Is That Legal, when she read the documents, it doesn't say that he physically, restrained her or anything, but he would not allow her to leave.
We're going back and forth from front door to back door. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'll leave. If you want to go, cool. I still have the keys, but I'm leaving. I pack a bag. At that point, she doesn't leave the apartment, right? And I call my cousin. I say, I need you to come get me, before it gets, escalates to a crazy situation. He came and got me. And the next morning, I make a call, no answer. I make a call to her mother. She answered, and she let me know that she was in the hospital from a jump off the balcony. So a garden style apartment I'm on the third floor, but at these actually had garages underneath. So it's equivalent to like the fourth floor, because you know what I mean?
She jumped off the third floor balcony.
Off the third floor.
Was she trying to commit suicide?
I believe. I don't want to put those words in her mouth.
Okay. So I have a whole problem with this. Again, so he describes the apartment, right? So he leaves. If you left, why would she have to jump off of a balcony? It sounds like, did he say a balcony? Okay, maybe I'm listening, but why would she have to jump? If you left, why couldn't she call somebody? So did you take the keys and put her in a position where she could not exit the front door? She couldn't leave. And now he's like trying to say that he left, and then after he left, she may have tried to unalive herself. I don't believe that. And so, Girl Is That Legal, again, she read through the documents. If you want to know a legal breakdown in all of the transcripts of what occurred, it sounds like they've had altercations before. So I don't believe that this young lady just jumped off of a balcony or jumped, especially if you had left. If you guys had been arguing before and you were barring her from going, so you were restraining her from leaving or whatever. You didn't say you were restraining her from trying to unalive herself before. You just weren't allowing her to leave. But once you leave, the only option she has is she decides she wants to try to jump off of a third or fourth floor. if it don't sound right, it's more than likely, like Judge Judy says, it's a lie. That don't make sense. That doesn't make sense, and I don't know why she wasn't able to call somebody, but I believe that he probably was still there and she was trying to get away. If you're trying to get away from a person for hours, because it sounds like they were going back and forth for hours until, I feel like this woman was trying to escape. You're not going to prison because you took the keys and then she jumped off the balcony. There would be so many. And then he also, again, when you talking and you forget your lies, he admits that the neighbors had saw her trying to, I believe, get out of there. I don't know if he said jump off the balcony. Hey, Lulu, how you doing? Hey, it's good to see you, sweet peach. So he even says at some point that the neighbors even saw her trying to exit. So, it's like all of his lies are just falling apart. Again, everything you say can and will be used against you. He wasn't paying attention, or he thought he was slick. But when you got this many eyes on this interview, people are going to be able to pick it apart and see the holes in your lies, sir.
Oh, but I believe so.
When you were holding the door, did you like hold her back, him, or you never touched her? You was just like blocking the door.
No. Just trying to come to some type of solution. Because at the time, yes, I consumed alcohol, but I was still level-headed enough to have a conversation. Like, let's just talk about it. But what I didn't know at the time was that I was committing a crime. I didn't know that, if you block your girlfriend and say, babe, let's just talk about it. I didn't know that. I'm like, this is a common level thing. So, I was like, you know what? I give up. If you want to go, just go.
So then you call her mom, and her mom said she's in the hospital because she jumped off Did she break bones?
Yes.
Do you know what was
wrong? Yeah. It was her ankles. I think she tried to break her fall. I don't know, because I didn't see the fall.
Now, any woman hearing this story, you could love a man. It's kind of hard sometimes. You can't help who you fall in love with. But in my way of thinking, if a woman jumps 3 or 4, I'm not jumping probably nowhere. I've even had thoughts of, oh my God, what would happen if there's a fire? Am I going to be able to jump? For a woman to jump 3-4 flights from something, she had to be pretty damn scared and pretty much trying to get away from you. And I don't believe that he left. Like, his story is that he left and he was gone and he found out the next morning. No, I believe maybe she was able to get away and she jumped. And I believe he was still there. I feel like this man is just straight lying.
So I think she tried to break her fall.
Was it cement that she jumped on? Grass?
No. It was cement. So these, like, mind you, we're like above like the car garages that people rent out. So I think that.
Right. Carlos' mouth is wide open, like, because he's probably thinking the same thing all of us are thinking. Negro, a woman jumping that many flights on some damn concrete is trying to get away from you. Are you crazy? The whole unalive and stuff. And you know what? I feel like because this story is getting a lot of, it's going viral because of, just for the fact that it's Basketball Wives. And now that so many people know that this guy is probably lying, I feel like a young lady is going to come forward and give her side of the story, and I'm sure there are transcripts, even more transcripts that people can get to kind of see, what they're saying as to what happened. But if she had tried to unalive herself, it sounds to me, just from what I know from a medical standpoint, there would be documents to say that, she had an attempted blah, blah. It's just not following, but it wasn't like, and I don't know this to be a fact, but just based on the threads that we're getting from this story or what occurred, it doesn't sound like we're hearing that she was hospitalized for, mental illness or anything like that. It sounds like he faced charges and had to go to trial for this imprisonment, right? So this whole thing about her trying to unalive herself, sir, it falls flat. It sounds like a damn lie. It sounds like an excuse. And Jennifer is eating it up.
Impact.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's different from when you jump out versus just jumping down.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different type of impact. I think jumping out probably could have resulted in something worse. You know what I mean? So her mom said, listen, meet me at the apartment. And she has to go into surgery. Of course, I'm devastated at this point because it's someone
Lulu, that's exactly what I said. And thank you, girl. And good luck with everything. Of course, keep me in the loop. I've just been busy working and all that stuff. So but this one, Jennifer brought me out of retirement. Okay. Y'all know I don't do lies, but Jennifer has brought me out of retirement because you're right, Lulu. Like, she's too damn old. Like I said before, girl, if you using Beijing around them edges, you should know better. We ain't no spring chickens. Like, you don't let this little guy, and it's okay, peen is cool or whatever, but that's a boy toy. And you could still date this man. It's not, do what you do. But marriage with his history, Lulu, I was saying this is the same woman who talks about she allergic to being broke and she don't know what a food stamp is and all of this and all of that. But you'll marry a felon. And one who already has a warrant out for his arrest for the traveling. We ain't got to that part yet. But I mean, seriously, so what are you bragging about? What are you talking about? I could dress up in Birkins and Gucci, but I'm with this scam artist that's a felon. Girl, please. I would rather a simple, honest man who makes an honest living with a modest lifestyle than this BS. But what we did learn, and a lot of this comes from, Girl, Is That Legal? I didn't know that allegedly Jennifer's dad may have been involved in some, illegal activities. I don't know if it was selling drugs. I don't know, but it sounds like maybe her history growing up, that her dad had money, but it was kind of illegal, ill-gotten gains or whatever. So because remember, she brags about never having seen a food stamp, only riding in Porsches and all of that stuff. That's fine and dandy, but girl, did you go to school? What did you learn? Did you get an education? What the hell did you do? I mean, she's tall and attractive and all of that, but did you go to school just to eat your damn lunch? Because, girl, you rode in a Porsche, but what did you do when you got there? Okay, let's keep listening to him lie.
I still love, right? And I get to the apartment. This is 7 a.m. This is super early. And I get to the apartment. There's a warrant for arrest on my door. There's I forget. I can't remember what the order says, but I couldn't unlock my door. They changed the locks because what happened was when she fell, the neighbors called the police. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, the neighbors had already heard the argument inside the apartment. So I get there. I'm like, okay, let's go to the leasing office. I pack her bag, right? And I give it to her mom. Let's go to the leasing office. I have to get this key so I can come back. Sorry, I'm speaking fast. Let me rewind. I go to the leasing office. They ask for my driver's license. So basically, what happened was when the police showed up, of course, they have to show up. It's a dispute, right? Mm-hmm. I believe they made a call to 24-hour maintenance, like, hey, change these locks. So when he comes back, we can apprehend him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get to the leasing office. I surrender my ID. And they're like, oh, well, we can give you a new key. Just drop it off as you're leaving, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Right. They just, whatever. As soon as I pack her bag.
So Lulu, I know you're just joining, but that's what I was saying earlier. There's so many gay men that are jumping in the comments and making statements saying that he's one of the girls and that they can tell and that their gaydar has gone off. And honestly, I've seen him on a couple episodes on their YouTube channel. And he was giving me kind of feminine vibes, not just because he went to the Fashion Institute, but there were just little things about him and this scamming stuff for sure. I'm not saying that that's a gay thing, but just the way he presents, yeah, I think there may be a little bit. Yeah, I think so. I'm agreeing with you, girl.
hug her mom. Her mom is like, listen, whatever happens.
Her mom never once asked you if you did anything to her daughter.
Her mom asked what happened.
Okay.
And I let her know we got into a very heated argument.
But she wasn't like upset with you or anything.
No. She gave me a hug. We had a very close relationship. She gave me a hug and just let me know.
To your point, Lulu, yes, they are claiming him. You said, nah, the community is claiming him. Yes. I read, let me read one of these comments. I'm on my cell phone, so let me just pull this up real quick. Because I did a screenshot. I was at work, and you know how you be trying to multitask at work, right? And I said, I don't believe this. But I was reading comments from after when I was listening to it at work, and so I was reading the comments, and somebody said, let me see it. I think I got the screenshot. It says, it says, I feel like there is more things going on here. Carlos seems very comfortable sneak dissing Jen. It's almost like Carlos knows something about her man. I think he's gay. So basically what they're saying is that they feel like it's like a key behind the scenes, because Lulu, I was saying earlier that Carlos, I don't know if you watched the whole interview, but in the beginning, early into it, he says, oh, Jen, I've met all of your men. And you remember her first husband that had the knot on the head? Psh, that guy, he wasn't the most attractive man. But anyway, he was the NBA player, right? Because she got a settlement from him when they got divorced. But and he was not cute at all. The way he dogged her was like, sir, do you have a mirror in your house to be acting like this? But he had that NBA money. But anyway, Carlos King was like, I've met a lot of your, dates or the men you've dated. And he said, this is the this one I can say is probably the first that's better looking than you. And I thought that was so low. You don't tell no woman that her man looks better than her. First of all, there's an age difference. There's a financial difference. So he's pretty much saying, this man ain't with you for nothing other than your money. If he's telling her that this man is better looking than her, come on now. And she's older than him. Those are effing red flags, girl. Run. It's hard enough. Girl, my mother used to tell me when I was growing up, ugly men still think they fine, baby. They gonna all cheat. And I'm not saying, I know some people gonna say, all men don't cheat. Let's say a whole lot of them do, okay? But my mother used to tell me that even the ugliest man think he fine because he a man and he got them balls between. You know what I'm saying? So for him to even say that this man is better looking than you, come on, Carlos. Now that was just a straight up diss. I said, no, he didn't. Let me see. You said once the community claims it, girl, because they know the scam. I mean, they just know. You know what they say? If you see a fool, bump his rock.
If police get behind you or trail you, whatever, just you're a black man, just whatever. You'll make bond or whatever it is, right?
Yes, he did at the beginning of I'm looking at the transcript because I'm trying to look at different points on my side. I have the transcript and I'm not showing them the actual footage of them speaking because, the strikes and everything, got to be careful. And yes, fair use. But yeah, Carlos King said, I've seen your boyfriends and men that you've dated. And this one I have to say is better looking than you. Or he, something to that effect. I'm not saying it verbatim. But I thought that was a straight diss. And Jen kind of looked like, what? And I think Christian knows it because he's younger and he is a nice looking man. He's not my type. I mean, he's just not my type. But yeah, I was like, no, even that's embarrassing. That would make me feel a certain way right there,
I get back to the front of the neighborhood, pull through the gate, and it's SWAT team. And you wouldn't think I've murdered someone. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right. I go do 20 something hours in jail and
they arrested you.
Yeah, they arrested me on the spot.
On the spot.
And that was very
Lulu, you done snatched the words right out of my mouth. That was a diss to her and a flirt to him. And that's what they be doing to each other. And I'm telling you, that comment that one person wrote on Carlos's page, basically the man is saying, or the person is saying, it's like Carlos knows the tea. It's a key. You know what I'm saying? It's like Carlos is like laughing at Jen. And I think they all laughing at her, to be honest. It's like he knows the real. It's like, you gonna spend her money, but you gonna be with them little boys in the back. It's so obvious. You know, it's like Jen is just mesmerized. I know, as you get older, you want a man, you want to feel attractive. She wants this fairy tale wedding, but maybe it's just not in the cards, or maybe even delay it. We're gonna play a little bit more of this, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff that just was a red flag.
Traumatizing. Because of course, I'm literally like, police brutality has been happening for a long time. It's just, it's big now because of social media, because it can be recorded, because of body cameras, right?
Now, another thing that I noticed about him, he talks in circles. You could ask him a question. He ain't going to give you a yes or no straight answer. It's like, how those con artists, they try to talk circles around you. That's because Jen can't think fast enough. So, she probably can ask a question and he's able to, what did my daddy used to say? Dazzle her with his words, dance all around it. This is what he does. This whole interview has been him sidestepping and talking in circles. I'm like, what? Half of the stuff he's even talking about is like, sir, you're off topic. Answer the question. So he keeps going on about, the girl and everything, and how the judge was against him and all of those things. I mean, sir, you were convicted, okay? Let's see. And I'm looking at the comments. Oh, well, let me come over here and see if y'all saying something. That's what I was saying. It's funny you say that, because I was saying, when I was trying to do this thumbnail, I was saying, I was going to say her fiance finesses, Carlos King, but that's all I saw was finessing to the 10th power. And I've only been to Atlanta a couple times, so I don't know, but I've heard the culture there that's what people be doing. I don't know. I'm not speaking down on Atlanta, but the finesse, like, girl, this man is about to finesse you out of some serious money. I'm trying to look at the transcript to see, so we could hear him say some things, because I don't want to just talk about it. I know you guys probably saw it, but I wanted to actually let him speak his words. Let me see. Okay, so I'm kind of going through the transcript, and all he's talking about is him and the girl. He's just making a long story long, child. It is not providing any real details other than the fact that, sir, you were convicted and you went to prison behind it, period. The judge didn't like it. And, it's the typical story. Nobody liked me. Everybody was against me. It shouldn't have went this way. Please. And look, listen to this. What the hell Trump got to do with? Listen to this, y'all.
Just like, listen, don't go hard on him. Don't sit, don't like, it's because even when you get convicted, your sentencing can still be probation. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just because you get convicted. I mean, Donald Trump just got convicted.
Sir, we don't give a damn about Donald Trump at this point. Don't. He even brings in Coach Stormy. You bringing all these people in that we consider convicts or scammers. We don't give a damn about them, but all you are doing is just letting us know that you look at them like, well, hell, if they can get away with it, so can I. I mean, please. We don't care about Trump. What are you talking about? We talking about what you did.
But he didn't go straight to prison. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the judge, I remember her, she said, I accept your recommendation, but I'm going to make an example out of him, and I'm going to give him 10 years to serve 7 in a state prison. And
for false imprisonment.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think. Oh, girl, I didn't even think about that. the prison component, if you're in prison for that long, you may have had some activities, bottom or top. I didn't even think about that. And then when you say DL men are finessers, that's another good point, because they have to be, because they have to, I mean, it's essentially they're living a double life. You know, I would really love to hear from that young lady that, that went through the situation with him. But that's a very good point. DL men are finessers. I didn't even think about, and plus the fact that he was in prison, for those 7 years. I mean, he was doing something.
And
there's a lot of states where false imprisonment is actually a common level misdemeanor, where it's just like, at worst, if they do convict you, you'll do maybe a couple of months.
Yeah, and just so I'm clear, the false imprisonment was what exactly? Like, did you show a fake ID? Like, what was the
false imprisonment is when it could false imprisonment is when you hold someone against their will.
And so what I'm gathering from this is him explaining what happened, saying that he just stopped her from leaving and all of that stuff. That's scary enough for me. I've never had anybody to stop me from leaving somewhere. That would scare the shit out of me. I'd be scared. Like, what? That's scary. And clearly she was scared enough to jump 3 or 4 flights onto concrete. So she must have been pretty scared. But I think Jen is like, he's been able to, excuse me, guys. I think he's been able to manipulate her and have her have empathy for him. Like, I was young, because he talks about, I was just a baby and all of these things. And, and the system was against me and I didn't have a good attorney. Well, hell, you were saying you was making $140,000 a year as a 19-year-old. I mean, I've hired attorneys before too. So you mean to tell me you couldn't get a good criminal attorney? All of this stuff doesn't add up. And I'm surprised that she's not, I don't want to say poking holes in it, but you're not questioning this. And this is the man that you're going to march down the aisle with, right? And with all the stuff that he's saying, why the need for a Parisian destination wedding? It's almost like her mind is so fixated on having this husband, having this image, having this fairy tale. You're not paying attention to the red flags. You don't care who's standing beside you. And another thing, I was listening to someone else, and I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody said that she was trying to force, I didn't follow her relationship with the ones that they call hips, Tim, whatever his last name is, Norman, the, Sweetie's son, or, I apologize, y'all. I just wasn't that into that show, Sweetie Pie, that she was trying to pressure him into marrying her. So it sounds like she's very obsessed with this whole, needing a man. I need to be married as a means of validation, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, because if you was trying to pressure Tim Hips to marry you, girl, you've been desperate for a minute. You said he's giving bottom. Yes, okay, Lulu, I agree with you. And I'm gonna be honest, even with my own self, with my dating history, I had one man that I fell in love with, and we had we had a pretty good relationship, but there were things about him that I knew were just lies. And even though I didn't necessarily call him out on it, I didn't lie to myself. Let's say that. Now, she could lie to the rest of America, but damn, girl, don't lie to yourself. And it's just, even, certain things that you publicly, you may not let everybody know, but in your heart, that little inner spirit and that little, something inside your intuition, when people lying to you. I agree with you. She knows it. Why would she even get on this public forum and sit beside him to lie like that? But I guess because of the wedding, because there are a lot of people that are coming to this destination wedding. People have purchased tickets. They've been planning. It's been in they've talked about it in the magazines, on site, online, on Basketball Wives. So at this point, it's almost like she's embarrassed and she's trying to save face. But what I would say, listen, if it was my daughter and we had this look, we would get in a huddle and be like, okay, girl, how we going to, like, Okay, I know you love them. Okay. But now you all got to tie your resources. Y'all, listen, remember. Okay. Remember Yandy from Love and Hip Hop? Remember Yandy and Mendices? Yandy did not marry him, okay? She had the fake this and the fake that, but she was smart enough not to get her finances tied up with this man. She loved Mendici, and Mendici was a good looking man. And I think, you know what, to be honest, isn't Yandy a little older than Mendici is? I think she is. And you know what's coming out too in that situation where they're saying that Mendici's stayed with her because she had money too. That one of his kids' mother, that he actually really loved her more, but he knew Yandy was the breadwinner. So I mean, you know, when you get these younger men, these fine men, girl, please. Lulu says we all been there, but how long you gonna you gonna this fruit play with you on glow? Who you telling? Now see, that's where I draw the line. We not getting no public humiliation at all. I'm not claiming you. Listen, they used to say double MLB me. Don't make me look bad. Don't double MLB me at all. Nope. I mean, and we might sneak around the corner. We might do what we do. Come to my house after. Listen, and this is facts. I had this one friend, and I really liked this man. I really did. He had a good job and everything, but when he would get to drinking, he would act a fool. Listen, in my neighborhood, when I had got my little townhouse and everything, not allowed. I don't give a damn how much you're not going to get no place where I have to look at my neighbors and this and that. And then, no, get yourself together and we good. Other than that, your shenanigans will happen at your house where I could get up and leave. I'm just saying. That's how I feel. Tandy, yeah, she did. Mendici's has greedy baby mamas too. Yandy would be paying child support. I know. And see, that's another thing. They talked about her. They mentioned this prenup. Okay, so I'm looking at the transcript. I think it's probably got another hour or so. So I'm going to kind of go through it a little quicker. So basically, I think Carlos, he mentions, are they going to get a prenup? The fact that they even have to discuss that, which I think that's a good thing to get, it's just a good thing to have because a lot of marriages, 50% end up in divorce, right? The fact that y'all have to even talk about the prenup, and it's not like the typical vein in which a lot of times it's the man with the money, right? And the woman and the man saying, I don't want a prenup, and the man's like, nah, baby, we got to get a prenup because I need to protect my assets. This is the reverse where she is the one with the money because he says, yes, I told her that. We talked about that. So basically, he's admitting that she is the one with more to lose. And he's saying he's willing to get a prenup. If he was protecting himself, he wouldn't be saying, I'm willing. It'd be like, oh, no, we getting a prenup. But remember when Candy was going to marry Todd? Same issue. I believe Candy did get a prenup. So hopefully she's smart enough to at least know, girl, you got to get a prenup. But that tells you something right there. And then they asked him, what was his net worth? Then he goes on to this long, drawn-out story. I had $1 million, but that was liquid cash, and I blew through it, but I'm worth $6 million. I don't believe that. Now, if he's doing this day trading, he may manage a portfolio of approximately $1 million, but I really don't think this man has $1 million. When you mix your finances with your husband, you will give access to his exes for child support and alimony. Exactly. And that does vary on where you stay. Now, another thing, he talks about this, his $6 million, and he goes, but that's not a lot of money. You lying. $6 million is a lot of money. That in this economy, in this day and age, for the average citizen, $6 million is $1 million. If you have it in your bank, it's good. So let's stop acting. He's acting as if that's not a lot of money. Well, I'm peeping game on this. He's acting as if it's not a lot because Jen allegedly online, it says she's worth $8 million. So basically, he's essentially saying we're almost neck and neck, or we have about the same in terms of finances. She's worth 8 million. I'm worth 6 million, which is no money, acting as if, her 8 million, trying to minimize it, manipulative and playing mind games. Again, finessing. Sir, I bet you're not worth $6 million. But another thing that was interesting, y'all peep this. I think Carlos King said something because he touched on the fact that, people are saying you're a scam, you're a scammer and all this. He said, Jen, have you seen bank statements? She said, no. He said, oh, babe, you have seen. And he goes, but I don't keep my money in banks. Huh? Said what? Huh? Now, let me say this. You don't keep your money in banks, so you have no bank statements. How do you prove your worth, sir? Like Jen, you don't even know what this man is worth because you don't know. And even if he did show you a bank statement, it could still be manipulated. The way, if this man is able to do day trading and, it's easy to falsify documents. I mean, I know how to do that. I do thumbnails on YouTube. I've learned how to make documents. That's very easy to do. Document manipulation. That's not even a problem. So just the fact that he claims, she says, babe, you've seen my bank statements. Well, clearly she doesn't remember. If you did show her something, it was probably fraudulent. I mean, and you're telling us you don't keep your money in the bank. However, you expect me to give you or to believe that you're managing millions of dollars, because most money, believe it or not, it's in a bank or it's offshore somewhere. So the fact that you don't, it just, none of it makes sense, Jen. It don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, you don't believe in banks, but you handling millions of dollars. What are you trading the money? Where are we putting this money when you get it? Like, how are you handling all these people? Where are you putting the money? Lulu says, in every economy, 6 million is great. Exactly. Only someone broke would say 6 million isn't a lot of money. $6 million is listen, and y'all know that, because if you have 6 million, of course, I don't know what the currency exchanges are and all that stuff, but in different countries. But we know that, first of all, let's just talk about over if he were to go to Europe or somewhere where they're having this wedding, that's great money. $6 million in a third world country is extraordinary money. So for him to scoff at something like that, like, no big deal, you're lying, sir. He just went and talked about the fact that he had to get a public defender because of his corporate job situation when he, the $20,000 he gave the attorney, it fell through and he was scammed out of that. But now $6 million ain't a lot of money. You see the double talking out of both sides of your face, sir? Like, Jennifer's too old to not catch all of this stuff, in my opinion. Girl, who you telling? 6 million in monopoly money, and that's all. Bank, trust, investment, everything has a stake. That's another great point, because the young lady who called in to Grow This at Legal, she was telling her that he gives you, like, I guess, a screenshot of something, and then when he reports the money that you've earned, or whatever the return on your investment, it's done in this thing called threads. So basically, when you get the information, it you can't take a picture of it. And I'm just gonna assume that at some point, maybe it disappears. You know how, like, Snapchat, some of those apps where something will vanish, it goes to vanish modes. It just all seems so suspect. If you have stocks, you have accounts that you can log into, and it'll show you how many shares, and it'll show you when it matures, and all these different things. So you mean to tell me all you get is a screenshot? You can't log into something to see where your money is being traded and how, Lulu says exactly, vanish mode, because he doesn't want no paper trail. Now, the one lady that who was saying that he scammed her, they have found that he updated his contract with his clients after he was outed and it started going viral that he was a scam artist. He initially was promising people, I think, between 5 to 8% on their investment of a return. And I'm not speaking because I'm not versed in stock market at all. So I'm probably saying the wrong stuff all the way around. But he has since taken his website down and he has modified the contract. Now, if that ain't another red flag, it's just so much. Oh, and I wanted to talk about this. Jen, when she's talking to Carlos King, talk about, yes, he's helped her make money and she knows that he has money. See, she's blinded by this facade. Clearly, it's almost like there's a fake Easter egg. Like she thinks that there's something behind that the wall of the wizard. Like she thinks there's something back there, girl, but it's nothing. It's just weeds. And so she's thinking that there's something. Y'all remember The Price is Right, behind the curtains and what it could be? And you know how you think it's something big and then you get the curtain that's womp womp. I really feel like that's what she's dealing with. She said she saw him trading one day and she saw one number and then it went up to like 50,000. Okay. Well, you know what? That wouldn't be enough for me, because if you are not versed in what he's doing, you don't even know if he's logging into somebody else's account, because they can do all sorts of things, and you're looking at these numbers. What does that mean? Is it even an actual trade? Like, could this be a fake website that they use to scam people? And there was this movie, The Wall Street Boys or something. I can't think of the name, but it was a group of young men. And I believe maybe they were in Silicon Valley or New York or somewhere. Same exact thing where they were scamming people. Started off with a little office, fake, and he may have got, I'm going to go back and watch that movie to see if I think that this is where he got the idea to start this fund, this investment fund company. They got fake letterhead. They built a website where they were putting fake people's pictures up. I mean, they built a whole pyramid scamming, and they were making money. And I think they made one critical error, which is how they got found out. But I say all this to say, these young people, and in this day and time with the internet, you can create all kind of fictitious things, right? And for Jen to sit there and think that she's seeing what she's seeing, ma'am, you don't know what you're looking at. And he knows you're so dense, you won't know. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, and it went up to $50,000, and that's how I know he has money. It could be somebody else's account that he's logging into. That's another thing I want to say, is this investment that he's doing. She needs a better support system. I agree with you. But the ladies on Basketball Wives, like Evelyn, girl, I believe they laughing at her. And Evelyn, instead of sitting up there trying to investigate Jackie Christie, you need to be trying to help Jen out, because she's the one you talking about. Jackie was a prostitute. So Jackie been married to Doug for how many years now? You need to be helping your daughter, who's dealing with the game, supposedly pregnant by the game, and you need to be trying to help Jen. You shouldn't even be worried about those Jackie Christie. You said her storyline next season will be so entertaining. Girl, I think once they get married, if she doesn't get a prenup, I mean, how do you think this is going to turn out? Like, how long does he have to stay with her to, what I also thought? I was thinking, exactly, she don't care about Jen. She wants to see her. And listen, after Jen started all those rumors about her daughter, Shanice, back in the day when they weren't friends, Evelyn ain't forgotten all that stuff. Evelyn is a snake. She has not forgiven her, but just for the sake of the show and to get that check, Evelyn hasn't forgiven her. You say stuff about my kid, I'm not gonna forgive you either. And she just playing nice for that money, but she laughing behind her back. Exactly. he definitely is a Build-A-Bear, a broke Build-A-Bear. Now, I do think he has some money, but I feel like he's using the people, the people that he's investing for. I believe he's using their money to fund his lifestyle with Jen. And I believe they got a new condo or something. If you go to their page and kind of watch their channel, I think they got a new apartment, or they were doing something, but they've been country hopping and all that stuff. It's just it's really a mess, and everybody sees the red flags. And it's amazing that Jen, when she was on the interview today, she said she has her F it button on. So basically she's going to stand behind him. She feels like he was given a bad rap, and she's just gonna stand behind him, and it's like nothing nobody could say. And I feel like okay, so let me go here. There is allegedly a warrant for his arrest because he traveled without getting approval, because he's on parole. And so when you go out of state or when you go out of country, I guess your parole officer has to approve it. Well, he didn't get the proper approvals. So now there is a warrant. Now they're saying that some people have said that the pictures of them in Switzerland and different countries have been removed, but I was on her website and I just saw the pictures. So let me see. Just earlier today, just not too long ago, let me share this tab. Those, it's not taken down, so I don't know why they're saying it's not there, because it's definitely there. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's a picture of them where she's talking about changing currencies again. Just came to check out the Alps and timepieces. And he was showing a watch that she purchased for him. And I think some of those watches are like $20,000-$30,000. And so he was telling Carlos that he has, talk about his vices, expensive watches. And apparently Jen bought him a watch. I don't know, a Patek. I don't know about all that fancy stuff. I really don't. But I hear Jay-Z sing about it, but that's as much as I know about him, right? And so Carlos was like, "Oh, you buying men expensive watches?" And then one of them was like, "Well, he bought her one first." That's another scam in another game with a con artist. They will invest in you a little bit. They'll invest 10,000 in you to impress you to get 100,000 from you. You know what I'm saying? So what generally happens, and we've seen this in movies so many times, a man will wine and dine you. And I saw this movie. It was a perfect example. This man, he was with this woman, and hell, who the hell did I marry? That lady, she was talking about it even. Like if they do a little bit for you, like take you to dinner, and they spending like $1,000 dinner and stuff. So then when something comes up and they go, "Oh, you know what? I can't, my money is frozen over in such and such. Can you just till I can, get my money? Damn, I don't know what happened." They start gaming on you, and you go, "Oh, well, he did spend this, and we did do that, so I know he has it," because they give you a facade, or they give the imagery that they have it. And some women are so gullible, they can buy you a few pieces and you think they got money. But let me tell you this, and I'm surprised. I wish somebody would have asked him, the watch, Jen, that you think that he purchased for you, please go get that checked out. Please go and ensure that it's not fake. And I'm going to say this because one of my girlfriends, her mother was dating this one guy, and he allegedly had money. Well, he had we are working class people, right? So he had a nice home and had a nice car. So she thought, of course, he had money. And when I say money, just middle class type of money, okay? So they were going to get married. This man gave her some diamond earrings. She was bragging to everybody, "Girl, he got me this." Yeah. And looking at the earrings, baby, when I tell you, when they broke up, we found out them earrings was fake. And they got into an argument, because I don't know if she went and got them appraised or whatever. They got into a big blow up, and all the drama and all the truth started coming out. And he told her, "You think I was gonna spend some money to buy you some real diamond earrings? You ain't my wife." You feel what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, Jen, go get the stuff appraised. You don't know what this man is giving you. I know you think you're the queen of tags and, authentic, expensive-ish, but girl, please, because you don't know. And oftentimes, because he would never think that you would go get it appraised, because he knows that you're just so gullible that you gonna just think he got money because he might be wearing a pair of $700 Gucci shoes. So just that alone would make you think that he's capable. Stop it, So anyway, y'all, let's see. I have everything appraised when I get jewelry for it. Yes, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I don't really have a lot of expensive pieces. I've had a few engagement rings, and that's about it. But I was, I know that they were real because you have to go get them sized and take them back to the person. So, I mean, but hell, I don't know. As far as I know, that was real. But I really don't even have that kind of jewelry like that. I know my mom has a couple pieces. I think the most expensive, I just don't, I got mostly costume jewelry, to be honest. I got like some little Chanel cuffs and stuff, but that's just random stuff. But that's a good point though, to always get it appraised. Lulu says Marlo in the comments putting fire signs while never dating broke men herself. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but Marlo, now her man was a billionaire, I think, right? Or he was very, very wealthy, but he was wealthy. This man right here is a felon. Not to say that you can't be a felon and change your life and stuff. And to be honest, what he went to prison for is bad. But maybe he could get some counseling and recover and all this stuff. But I think what we're seeing is being compounded. Like people don't believe it because of the lies that he's telling. Well, let me say allegedly, in my opinion. It's like you going from being a felon to a millionaire and all these additional stories, and it's just not adding up. And I know people have comeback stories, but his stories just ain't adding up. I mean, just too many people are seeing the holes. I have everything appraised when I get your, okay, I saw that. I got a tennis bracelet for my, oh, that's nice. Congratulations. And okay, who you telling? I mean, exactly. Because, well, from where I'm from, girl, these men will lie in a heartbeat and have you thinking you having something nice. Okay. And it came from the little local Chinese, gold store in our malls. Yep. Marlo is a felon too. Yep. But this also reminds me of, what Portia was going through, right? I mean, Portia and Simon, same situation. Portia thought she had married up on something, and it turns out, I mean, it kind of backfired. Now it's not all it was meant to be, because I believe, didn't he take back the Rolls Royce or the Bentley he had got her? Like, y'all got to stop believing this stuff. And then they even said that Bentley or whatever kind of car it was, that it is the one he had given to Fallon previously. It's like, stop falling for the okie doke. Stop being so desperate. It's okay to be average. I know we all want to be rich. We all want a soft life. And she's talking about, I want a soft life. I thought that, girl, how is your life soft with a felon, though? Like, huh? Do you understand what you're marrying? It appraised for more than oh, wow. Oh, okay. So it appreciated. Well, that's good. That's real nice. It wasn't in her name. What wasn't in her name? Oh, the Bentley or the car. Exactly. He took that back, and he's even giving her such a hard time. She can't even halfway film in the house. And they were making jokes saying that Simon said he don't even want his robe appearing in a scene, or else he gonna take them to court. So that's really causing Portia to have difficulties with the filming. Actually, to be honest, are they even filming now? Did they start filming again? Because I know they've been having a lot of issues with the cast and everything. But anyway, y'all, those were most of the things that I wanted to talk about. This man was just so many lies. I mean, anybody could tell. Any woman worth her just salt or of means would know that this is a scam. She's too attractive. She's been around the block too many times and has been through this to fall for this, to fall for the okie doke, as they would say. They had to reshoot her scenes because, yeah, I know that was embarrassing, right? Remember how she had all of those African weddings where they weren't even married a good 2 years. And I feel like that. Well, you know what? To be honest, now, Lulu, now that we're talking about it, this could be for a storyline because I mean, it really could be just for a storyline because you can't be that gullible, right? I mean, but then again, I don't know. Maybe the destination wedding, maybe she's going to find a loophole to get an annulment. Maybe it won't be a real wedding. Maybe this is, maybe, you know what? Lulu, we done figured this out. They not really getting married on paper, child. She's going to do exactly what Yandy did. We done figured it out. There's no way she would be that simple. No way. So basically, this is for the cameras because we do know that the Basketball Wives at VH1 cameras will probably be filming. Maybe she's trying to get a spinoff like Portia did, like My Wedding or something, or Life with Christian, like because they have a YouTube channel. Maybe that's what this is. Oh, girl, we done figured this out. Yeah, we knew nobody could be this stupid. This is all for a storyline. Yeah, I think we've solved the we have solved the riddle because ain't no way in hell nobody gonna be this damn dumb. We have solved it. Let me see, because no one can be exactly, girl. I was gonna put on my thumbnail, even Ray Charles could see, but I know it's like, girl, you can't say nothing now. Everything is what's that word? Politically incorrect. Okay, you cannot say certain things. Like you can't do nothing now, right? But girl, we solved it. Yeah, this is for a storyline because no way in hell this woman would do something like this. She's a headliner now. She got to be a headliner because no matter what happens, this is the next year storyline because we all want to wait and see. We can't wait. The wedding is set for September. I was going to say September 12th. I saw it somewhere. I forget the date, but we all waiting to see what's going to happen. We waiting to see, are they going to walk down the aisle? There is allegedly a warrant out for his arrest. Will he be arrested? On girl, is that legal? I guess today there were some motions filed. So he's got to deal with the legalities of that. He did file and ask if the judge would allow him to, I guess, leave the country or whatever. What if he can't travel? And somebody had made a point that they had removed the pictures from his website of him traveling out of the country. That makes no sense because when you travel, your passports, they put it in the system, they scan it. So what are you talking about, sir? Like I know you may be scamming Jennifer, but you gonna scam the government too? You Homeland Security and the Department of Justice and all these people? No, sir. Because if you was that smart, you wouldn't have landed behind bars the first time, right? It's just a mess. It's sad to see her go out like this. I just really can't believe it, The other thing is that I don't know if her mom is still alive because I feel like as mothers, this is where we step in and be like, baby, you can't do this. Now you could sleep with this man, y'all could even live together, but you can't do this because marriage is just too hard to get out of, and I understand her being lonely. Jen has low self-esteem though. Her self-esteem must be through the floor. The new passports have chips in them too. Really? Oh, I gotta look that up. I think I told, well, we just got back from our trip, but we had the old passports. But I would love to see the chips and how they work. So do we have them here in the US now or what? Because I know Europe, they're always ahead of us. Like they were chipping their credit cards even before we did. Okay, see that right there makes me have some sympathy for her because it could be self-esteem, it could be loneliness, it could be a lack of a tribe or people around you that really love you, But I think enough people, from what I'm seeing, I think enough people have spoken for her to take pause. But at this point, I feel like the train has left the station, and she's got so much riding on this wedding that, you know, she don't want to be humiliated. But like I was starting to say before, what I would do is go ahead. She can still go ahead and have the ceremony, right? They could have maybe she's looking for, like, I know, you know, and it's sad though, because I understand as a woman you want a partner, but you got to choose you. You know, you just can't, because even if you get this man that you, I guess, are in love with, if he's not the right one, then that's not loving yourself, right? You, because, you know, I think, I don't even know why women think that if you're single, that means you're not lovable, or you're not this, or you're not that, because I feel totally the opposite. Being single means I'm choosing me. I'm not accepting anything. I'm not going to have society force me to be with a man just to act like, oh, I got a man. What do you really have? And I'm not going to lie to myself and be in a relationship that's not healthy. When you're young, yeah, you make mistakes, but as you get older, you're supposed to be more wise and mature and handle yourself better than that. You got to love yourself a little bit more. It's okay to stand alone. I would never want to stand next to a man knowing that he don't love me or he's not good for me, just to make y'all think I'm something. To prove to who? To prove what to whom? And I feel like that's what Jen is doing. But it could also be like you're saying, Lulu, that she is looking for love, and any man will do. It's just, it's almost like it's fake. I don't care. I'm in denial. I don't give a damn. If we have this wedding, it's love. People are going to celebrate me. I'm going to be the princess. It's like a fairy tale. It's like a fake fairy tale. But hey, I don't know. But y'all, anyway, thank you. It's been an hour and a half. And this story right here, I couldn't even work good. I wanted to get home so bad. I was listening to this at work and I got so excited. Just all the lies. I was like, oh, that's not true. That don't make sense. So, you know, so I was like, I just have to get this out, because I've been watching this story and it's just like, this is a Lifetime movie. Girl, you are a Lifetime movie. You are the poster girl. You know, you've done it 3 times. 3 times you out, Jen. So we'll have to see. I think the last leg of this is that whether or not, you know, if he goes to, I'm going to watch the interview, because girl, yes, please watch the interview. Oh my God, you have to watch the interview. Pay attention to his lies too. And also, you know, there's the transcript. So, you know, the transcript, if you think about something, because that's sometimes I look at the transcripts now so I could really think about what they're saying. But I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. I'm getting old, child. You know, I forget stuff. But yeah, this one to me is like a Lifetime movie. And I'm just amazed that Jen does not, like, she's even willing to risk her mental health and her love and her heart on this at a certain age. Like, pause, at least. Just put a pause on it. Don't mean you can't still love the man or be with him. Do what you do. I mean, hell, it's your life. But okay, you say you be forgetting shit too. Exactly, I do, man. I'm just at that age now where I be forgetting stuff. But I say, girl, love him, do you? But don't marry him. Why get married? What's the why for the marriage part? But based on what I've seen, I actually went and looked up their wedding registry, and I could see that they're registered at Bloomingdale's. I really couldn't see much in terms of, I didn't want to go that far. I just wanted to see if I could find out something. But based on the article, because there was an article, let me see. Let's see. Here's an article, and they talk about the wedding. Her dream Paris wedding to her fiance. Oh, you can't even see it. Let me see. Let me go here and make it better. Yeah, so there's an article where they talk about them going over to Paris, and it sounds like it's going to be very expensive. I mean, she's, she got a lot of high class taste. So it's going to be very expensive. They were going to wineries and stuff and just looking at different things, and I think all the photos and the photo ops, that's all she's thinking about. Um, they talked about the wedding being approximately, now see this right here, Lulu, you see that? Let me see. Can you see that? You see that? Wait a minute. You see the blazer? Now that look a little bit, I don't know. Is that what men are wearing now? Because men are more fashionable than women these days. They be wearing skirts to the altar with their wives. But this right here, this little, I don't know. I'm, I'm not really feeling that. Lulu says, I feel bad because she be looking so happy in them articles. Yeah, but she wasn't looking too happy today on the couch. I think, like what you said, she knows the truth. She knows it. It's just like a parent when your child be lying and you be like, absolutely not. Okay, I don't want to say it, but I'm like, what? Huh? Wait a minute. Did you see? There was another girl that got married. She be on the Tyler Perry movies. I forget her name, but her guy had on. It was like a sash, a belt around his waist. He had on all white, and it was. I was like, is that what they're doing? Man, if I got married in this day and age and my dad was around and a man wore something like that, I know my dad would have had a fit. I don't, oh my God, who is that lady? She got married. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? Jennifer is not in love. She's in love with the idea exactly of being in love. This is nothing more than idolatry. I agree with you, Geraldine. She's in love. No, she is in love. She's in love with the money and the image of being something. Yeah, she's in love with the money, but not with that man. I seen him. I thought they were trolling us. Wait, are you talking about the lady who married the guy and he had on a white suit with a little sash around the? And I ain't gonna lie, because in my mind now I want to say the man had a little a little train on the blazer. I know you know. Yet, who was that? I can't think of the name. It was. I'm like, what? At first, I didn't think it was real either. I did not think it was real either. He had a white. He had on white. He switched down the aisle with her. I said, "Are you kidding me?" These men are getting more feminine than the women, and I'm not talking about like in the gay community, but I'm talking about in traditional heterosexual marriages where the men are damn near wearing dresses like the women. It's a different world, child. It's a different world. Yes, she's an actress on one of them Tyler Perry. I forget her name, but so you saw exactly what I saw, right? Where it was like, are you kidding me? What is this, right? Because I thought it was just like for a movie, but they got married, and I was thinking that because when I was looking at the photos, I was like, well, is he gay? Like, I mean, because I know that's a thing now too. Like women are, marrying men who are, bi. So I'm just like, oh, it's a lot going on these days. You said you literally thought they were trolling. I did at first too. But then eventually I kept seeing photos and people saying congratulations. And I kept waiting for somebody to say, oh, that was from a film, but they never did. So looks like they're married. Yeah. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching. And I will see you on the next video. And Lulu, I'm trying to get back into the game, but I will, I still, yeah, once I get to going, then we back on. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.